Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself first. My name is Hanifah Rohmatunnisa. I'm part of Class 4A Department of English Education and Sharifiyatullah Islamic State University. In this occasion, I would like to make a video to fulfill my extensive reading assignment, and then this video is contained I want to retelling the story of the novel that I have had read before, and the title of the novel is A Woman Scorned. This is the novel. This novel is written by Catherine Bellamy and published by Scarlett, and this is contained of the last page of this novel. And now I want to retelling the story of this novel that I have had read before. Okay, before I start retelling the story of the novel, I want to introduce to all of you all of the characters of this novel. Okay, the main character of this novel is Tessa and Matt, and also their children called Abby. After that, in this novel also tell about Matt's family. There is Evelyn, and then David, and then Chris, and after that also this novel also mentioned about Matt's ex-girlfriend, which is Belinda and Ju, and then also the antagonist character is Helen, and you can find all of them in this story that I would like to tell to you. Okay, the story of this novel begins with Tessa, a single parent with her child named Abby. One day, when Tessa was taking Abby to the dentist to do a medical check, there was someone named Matt. Tessa really avoided Matt. When Matt came, Tessa rushed away out with Abby. Then Matt kept chasing them and asked why Tessa was avoiding him. Until suddenly, when Tessa went to avoid Matt, she was hit by a car and taken to the hospital. Tessa's accident was quite serious because she ended up in a coma for 7 days. While Tessa was hospitalized, Matt took care of Abby, starting from taking Abby to get her supplies at her house until finally Matt found an important document. Abby's birth certificate complete with a photo of Matt and Tessa together long time ago. Yeah, Matt is the father of Abby. In the past, during the summer vacation, Tessa and Matt had an illicit relationship until finally Tessa became pregnant. But actually, Matt never knew the news of Tessa's pregnancy because after the summer holiday, Matt had to leave to become an army in Boston. Tessa kept her pregnancy a secret for fear of being rejected by Matt because Matt was a respected family. On the contrary, it turned out that after returning from army duty, Matt looked for Tessa everywhere, but he never found Tessa. Actually, there is nothing wrong with Matt. It's just that Tessa never communicates well with Matt. When Tessa finally wakes up from her coma, she's still angry and with Matt and asks Matt not to take Abby from her. Matt doesn't accept Tessa's words because Abby is his child too. Matt insists on asking Tessa to come to his house with Abby and asks Tessa to marry him immediately because actually Matt really loves Tessa. Matt behaved very well to Tessa, always persuading her slowly until finally Tessa agreed to live with Matt and his extended family. However, the night before Tessa went home, there was a figure who sneaked to whisper something in Tessa's ear. Don't expect you to live quietly with Matt. Matt only wants Abby and you will be killed later. The whisper was like a nightmare but very real for Tessa until nurse came because of her screams. Long story short, finally Tessa lived at Matt and his family's house with Abby too. Tessa was very welcomed very well by Matt's family. She was served in any way because Matt's family was a wealth family. But when she first entered the house, Tessa smelled the same perfume as when the whispers in the hospital existed. Tessa told Matt, but Matt never believed her and thought Tessa was just hallucinating. And Tessa was already living at Matt's house, but she still refused Matt's invitation to get married. She also still often got terrorized by who knows until one day Helen, known as Matt's cousin, came with Belinda, Matt's ex-girlfriend. She acted as if she was very nice to Tessa. Helen suddenly invited Tessa to go to the mall to shopping. When she was finished shopping, suddenly the alarm sounded and the security guard stopped Tessa. Tessa was surprised to see that there were items in her bag and she never felt like taking them. Tessa kept swearing that she didn't do it and finally Matt came to solve everything. Matt asked Tessa to calm down even though Tessa was very afraid that this incident would taint the good name of Matt's family. The next day, Tessa suddenly loses the ring Matt gave her that she usually always wears. Matt is angry because Tessa can't take good care of the things he gave her. Tessa suspects Helen of being the ring thief, but with that suspicion, Matt is even more angry at Tessa for suspecting Helen. Matt never really trusted Tessa and thought that Tessa was still recovering from her accident at the time and was often hallucinating. Tessa was also jealous to see a photo of Matt and Zoo, Matt's ex-girlfriend, which she found in Matt's room. But when she was about to show it to Matt, the photo disappeared and made Matt angry at Tessa because Tessa was considered to often accuse people because she was jealous of Matt. Okay, until the night before dinner, Tessa overheard Matt's family talking about her being a kleptomaniac, even though she didn't do that at all. She was very sad because Matt's family apparently only wanted Abby, not her. Matt, who heard that, was very angry and immediately invited Abby and Tessa to go to London. Tessa initially refused and asked Matt to just go back to his family, but Matt still insisted on fighting for his love for Tessa. Until finally, they went to London. When they arrived in London, Matt asked Tessa to get married in church ceremony. At first, Tessa was still hesitant, but finally she realized that Tessa also loved Matt. One day, again and again, the terror came to Tessa. She was driving her car and felt that she had turned off the engine and got out of the car, but suddenly the car engine started again and hit her head. Tessa was getting scared by the terror. But suddenly David, Matt's brother, came and explained that the mastermind of all the terror was Helen, their cousin. Helen turned out to have been in love with Matt for a long time, and Matt never ignored her. Didn't want Matt to marry anyone but her. Matt heard this immediately, angry at Helen, arrested her and wanted to imprison her. But while in conversation, Helen ran away and was not caught. After a day of disappearance, Helen was found dead by suicide. After all the long journey and many obstacles that got in the way of Matt and Tessa's love story, they're finally happy with their children Abby. And also, Tessa has given birth to another brother for Abby. They live happily, and Matt feels like the luckiest man ever for having Tessa and their children. And now they have a small house to live happy together. Okay, I think that's all the story that I have had to read from the novel. And the story was so interesting to read. I commend you to read this novel because it's kind of interesting. And I'm sorry for many mistakes I have made in this video. And as I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.